Welcome to this screen tutorial. This is covering the topic of performing an advanced search with Google. Everybody has used Google. We all know how to use Google, at least on the surface, but there are a lot of different hidden search functions and features that we can use to better tailor our search and to get better results and more accurate results. So that's what we're going to look at today. So the first thing is, of course, go to Google. And let's say that we want to search for information about the Vikings. So we type in the term Vikings. And as this comes up, we've got all different types of results, most of them dealing with the Minnesota Vikings. Most of you are not going to be writing your papers on the Minnesota Vikings, maybe, but probably not. As you scroll down further, you do get some information about the Vikings that we're talking about in world history, but most of these first results are about the Minnesota Vikings because that's what's been paid for. These first results are usually results, especially if they end in .com, as you can see here, that have been paid for. So what we want to do is narrow our search and find good educational information about the Vikings. So to do an advanced search, you always go here to this little gear, the top right, and click Advanced Search. And this is going to bring up multiple fields that you can enter in other information. So one of the questions was, what was the Vikings' effect, their conquering, on Europe? So what we can do is type in any of these words here. We can do effect, then we type or Europe. So that narrows our search just a little bit. Then we can also narrow our search by what type of site it is. In a previous video, we talked about the domain, the types of domains and types of websites we can use. There's .edu, .org, .gov, but what we want to look at is .edu. These are going to be publications and websites that are hosted by an educational website. So we're going to type in .edu. Then what we can look at also is the type of file. Let's say you learn well by viewing a presentation, by viewing a PowerPoint. So you go to File Type, and here you have all of these different types of files. So let's say we want to find a Microsoft PowerPoint. We click PowerPoint. And now we're ready to click Advanced Search. And here we are. We have different PowerPoint presentations hosted by various universities and educational sites. So let's click here on this first one that says The Norseman. It may take a little bit here. We want to open the PowerPoint and view it. Still loading. And again, as you can see in the web addresses here that are listed, we've got .edus, .edu, .edu. And once we actually go to that site, then we'll really be able to see what university that is. We can assume the information is credible, but we can still check the About Us or the Contact Us information and find out more information about that particular organization. Okay, so here we have a PowerPoint presentation from a university that we can look at, we can edit. It's got images. And here it looks like there's some great information here about the Vikings. Okay? There are other different file types that we can look at when doing a Google Advanced Search. If you want to adjust your settings, you just go back to the gear, go back to Advanced Search, and it's changing our word here to affect. How did the Vikings affect Europe? Let's say we want, there's PDF, any format. We can do a Word, we can do a video, an Excel. So they're all different types. You can do any format though, and it'll bring up anything. Okay? So that's a way to do an advanced search in terms of your terms and in terms of documents. Oops. Got a little cluttered there. Something else I want you to look at is an images search. So let's say we want to search for a map of the Vikings. So we just do a basic image search, Google Images, for Vikings. We get Minnesota Vikings, we get some maps, some football players, some images that look pretty, maybe not educational, but some pretty cool looking images. But you can also do an advanced image search. So we go to our advanced settings again, and it tells us over here we are doing an advanced image search. So we can choose our file type. Let's say we want a map, so we can put in map. Let's say we want only images that are black and white for some reason. And let's say we want a JPEG. We hit search and let's see what comes up. And ta-da, we have black and white images that are maps that deal with the Vikings. And you could also narrow this more in depth with a specific term, like Viking conquests in Europe, Viking conquests in Russia, that sort of thing. But you can definitely, and up here you've got a navigation toolbar where you can change what it is you're looking for. Let's say we want full color. Let's say we want maps that have primarily blue in them. We click blue, and there's the blue maps. Maps with mostly blue. There's really no reason for you, for school, to ever do a basic Google search. You can always do an advanced search and search smarter and come up with better results and more effective results. So always look for the gear. Always look, go to advanced search, and you can do a Google advanced image search, or you can do a basic Google web search and look for those EDU websites that are going to have good, credible information. I hope this has proven to be helpful. Please come by the South Library and see Mrs. Thicksten with any questions. Thank you.